What's good, everyone? Welcome to the PWD channel where we discuss professional wrestling. In today's video, I'm talking about the April 24th, 2023 episode of Monday Night Raw. What an episode it was. It was a really good episode of Raw. I actually really enjoyed myself watching it pretty much the entire time. I think the third hour lacked a little bit. It wasn't as good as the first 2 hours, but the first 2 hours were so much fun. It was a really noteworthy episode. There was a lot of notes to be taken as like a reviewer of these shows. And just overall, I really enjoyed this show. I'm a big fan of Raw tonight, but I want to talk about one of the biggest things, if not, actually I say one of the, it was, let's just put it on, let's put it like honest, like it was the biggest thing to come out of Raw tonight, which was the new world title. They finally brought back the World Heavyweight Championship. It's not the same big gold that it was before, but you could tell it's heavily inspired by the old big gold. It's kind of like similar in the way that it's built, a little bit smaller. I think it's kind of, in my opinion, and maybe it's because I haven't seen it actually wrapped around somebody's waist or on somebody's shoulder. It kind of looks like a more of a mid-card sized title, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know if that makes any sort of sense. It's kind of like the Intercontinental title, because the Intercontinental title is still a little bit smaller than the world titles, but either way, it's a great looking title in my opinion. At first, honestly, I didn't like it at first, but I kept seeing pictures online and I kept seeing it on Twitter and I kept seeing it throughout the show, and it really grew on me. It looks like the big gold, but with the little globe in the middle and the W on top of it. Now, I'm not a big fan of the W in the center of the title. I think that they could have put the W kind of similar to maybe like the Winged Eagle title or the Undisputed title from back in the day, where it's kind of like just sitting at the top. I think they probably should have done that, but I know that they do this for marketing reasons, and I know that they do this because they want their titles to look more like a toy so you could sell it to children. I think that's kind of like been the intentions with WWE for a while now with their world titles. I think that was just something that was kind of like a standard now, and they kind of had to throw that in there. I think otherwise they probably wouldn't have done that, but again, it still looks really good. I guess I'll talk about how this got announced. Basically, Triple H came out, and he was the one who announced all of this, and he said, I want to talk about Roman Reigns. And he talks about how Roman Reigns has put himself in an incredible position because he's a world champion, and he's somehow gotten his way to where he doesn't even have to wrestle that much at all. He's a part-timer. He barely ever defends the title, and while he thinks that it's a really smart move and he would have done it as well, it's not good for WWE. And I really love how blunt they were. They were just straight up honest. Triple H was straight up honest. He came out and said, like, yeah, I understand why Roman Reigns did this, but let's just be perfectly honest. This is not good for WWE. You don't get a world title match every pay-per-view, and as a whole, it's just not a good look for WWE, and it's not good for the fans. And he's like, WWE deserves more. The fans deserve more. And so he's like, when the brand split happens, we're going to see Roman Reigns take his title to whatever show he's on, and he's going to stick to that show. You're not going to see him anywhere else but that show. However, whatever show he gets drafted to will get that world title, but we are unveiling a new world title, and he unveiled the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. Again, I think it looks really good. In my notes, it's funny because in my notes, I actually said it's hideous, but I absolutely love the announcement, and I feel as if WWE is in great hands at the moment. Like I said, I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me. Like, pretty fast, it grew on me. So I think I really do like this world title a lot, and I love how blunt and just honest WWE. They were very clear, or how WWE was. They were very clear about their intentions with this world title. Triple H straight up said, like, I mean, he even dissed Roman. He's like, this championship will actually be defended, and the title holder won't demand your respect. They'll have to earn it. And he's also like, he's saying, like, whoever holds this title, they're going to have to fight with this title. They're going to have to continuously defend it. Every show, everywhere, every place that can possibly be defended, it will be defended. Unlike the other world title, whereas it's just held by a part-timer. So it's seeming like this championship is kind of going to become the main focus of WWE, the main world title. I think Roman's world title is going to take a step back, because obviously he's not even going to be here that often at all. He's a part-timer now. So having Triple H say that this is for, full-timers only pretty much is a very good thing. And I'm overall really excited about this announcement. I'm really happy to see that we're finally getting two world titles again. I wouldn't have minded if we kept it with one, but admittedly, exactly like Roman Reigns said, it's not good for WWE. It's not good for the fans. So it's nice to see them unveil a new world championship. And again, the title looks beautiful, and I'm so curious to see who's going to win it. I think that there's so many options off the bat, because Seth already announced in the show that he wants to win that world championship. I think Seth Rollins could be a great option. I think whoever wins it first should definitely be a babyface, because we've already had Roman as a heel champion for like 2.5 or 3 years or whatever, however long it's been now. We've had him as champion for so long now. But I think Seth Rollins is a great option. I think Cody Rhodes could be a good option. I'm not sure where AJ Styles' status is in terms of his healing his ankle, because I know he broke it a while back. I'm not sure if he's like cleared to wrestle again, or if he's going to be cleared to wrestle anytime soon, because this championship is going to be fought for at Night of Champions, which I think is like May 27th or sometime like that. It's somewhere around the end of May, and I know like if he's able to be cleared by them, I'd like to see AJ Styles as champion. There's a lot of good options here, and I actually am going to create a video on who, maybe like my top 5 wrestlers on who should become the world champion, who should be the inaugural world champion for this title. I'm going to make a list on that, again, top 5 people who should win this championship as soon as it's available to be won at Night of Champions. So I will be making that video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you can go ahead and see that video when it releases. But yeah, exciting news. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this. But that was the main focus on tonight's Raw episode of Raw. Maybe not the main focus, but it was like the main thing talked about tonight, and absolutely awesome. Some other things that happened on the show: Cody fought Finn Balor, a pretty good match. Cody ended up winning. I thought Cody got seriously injured, but I think it was just sort of a work. We also had like the Bloodline versus LWO. Bloodline won with heel tactics as always. We've also had some more tension going on between Io Shirai and Damage Control in general. I think that they're really going to turn on Bayley soon, because Io wanted to fight Bayley one-on-one tonight. Or sorry, not Bayley. Io wanted to fight Bianca Belair one-on-one tonight, but Bayley stopped that, and she's like, no, we're going to do a 3-on-3. Io was not happy about that, and this faction is definitely going to break up soon. It's looking like that for sure. We also had a lot of tensions between the Usos with each other, and between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens with each other. So this is a storyline that went out pretty much throughout the entire night, because we had Usos say that they had one single bad night at WrestleMania, but this Friday they're going to become the 9-time tag team champions. And they said that because it was Sami. They said that after they beat the LWO, and then we see Sami Zayn and Jey Uso backstage, not beefing or anything, just talking. Sami's mad because in that promo, Jey Uso did say whenever they win, they're going to dedicate this win to Roman Reigns. Sami's mad because Jey Uso says, all this stuff that's happening, as good as you are, and you're going to dedicate your win to Roman Reigns still. And he's also like, why don't you just dedicate it to yourself? And also, like, what happens if you lose, Jey? What happens to you if you lose? What is Roman Reigns going to do to you? What is Roman Reigns, how is he going to punish you? And he's like, I'm just worried for you. And Jay's like, why do you care? You made your choice, I made mine too. But Jey this also gets in Jay's head, because later on in the show, we got the Usos backstage. Jimmy's getting hyped. He's like, I'm ready for this match on Friday. We're going to win, blah, blah, blah. And he looks over to Jimmy's saying that, and Jimmy looks over to Jey, and Jay's like, you could tell he's like silent, and he's kind of like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And Jimmy's like, what's going on, Oos? Like why are you being quiet? Like, you okay? Everything good? And Jay's like, what happens if we lose, Oos? Like, what's gonna happen to us? What's Roman gonna do to us? Basically, kind of having that seed of doubt sowed into his head by Sami Zayn. And Jimmy's upset. He's like, what happened? Why are you all of a sudden like this? And Jay's like, well, I talked to Sami, and that pisses Jimmy off. He starts screaming at Jey. He's like, why did you talk to Sami? Of course, Solo Sikoa stops it. He makes Jimmy sit down, but Jimmy's like why? He's really mad, and Jay's like, bro, what if we don't win? And Jimmy's like, Oos, we're going to win this Friday. And he walks off. He's hella upset at his brother. And later on in the night, then we see Jimmy confront Sami Zayn backstage. Jimmy's like, whenever Sami loses on Friday, Kevin's going to turn on him. And Jimmy's basically trying to sow seeds of doubt into Sami Zayn's mind, saying that if Sami loses, Kevin's going to turn on him. And you could tell Sami's affected by that as well. He's like, damn, like, what if he's actually right? What if Kevin Owens actually turns on me? Like, a lot of things were planted tonight into both teams' head. And then later on after that, we get Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle backstage. Kevin Owens was really mad about Sami talking to the Usos, because Sami did admit that that's where he had been all night, because Kevin Owens was with Matt Riddle, but he couldn't find Sami all night. Kevin Owens says, everything, or Sami Zayn just admits everything that he was doing, and Kevin Owens is pissed. He's like, why are you still talking to the Usos? Why do you still care about Jey? You need to get over it. They're a thing of the past. You seriously need to get over this, Sami. Kevin Owens goes off and he walks away, and Sami just looks like distraught, basically. But we have a great dynamic going on here, because we have both teams upset with each other because Sami Zayn sowed seeds of doubt into Jey Uso's mind, Jimmy Uso sowed seeds of doubt into Sami Zayn's mind, and now we got both teams kind of thinking, what happens if we lose? Is our partners going to turn on us? And especially in Sami Zayn's case, is Kevin Owens going to turn on me if we lose? And then for the Usos, we got what's going to happen with Roman. What's Roman going to do to us if we lose? Are we going to get kicked out of the bloodline? What's going to happen? There's a lot of stuff going on here, and it was a really interesting thing that was going on all night. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. We also had like a really good Austin Theory promo with Bobby Lashley. Ended up being a brawl between him. What's the other guy's name? I can't remember. Bronson Reed, sorry. And Bobby Lashley, him, Austin Theory, and Bobby Lashley all beefed with each other. They're going to have a triple threat, I believe, at Backlash or this Friday. I'm not really sure when the triple threat is. My bad about that. But soon they're having a triple threat for Austin Theory's United States Championship. Just a lot of good stuff overall. Also, Damage Control versus Bianca Belair. They are Damage Control versus Bianca Belair with the with the Women's Tag Team Champions. Belair ended up winning. She pinned Bayley with the KOD. Good match. A lot of stuff happened on tonight's Raw. That was just some of it. The main event was Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest. Damian Priest ended up getting himself disqualified, beat down on Rey Mysterio at the end of the match. But who comes out for the save? It's Bad Bunny. He comes out with a kendo stick. He beats the living hell out of Damian Priest, and he says, at Backlash, I'm not hosting it anymore. I don't know if you know this, but I'm not hosting Backlash anymore. Instead, I'm going to Puerto Rico to kick your ass in a street fight. So we're going to have Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny in a street fight. This should be freaking awesome. I'm super excited about that match. And what an episode of Raw. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed this episode of Raw. It was a very good show overall from start to finish. Again, I think the third hour did lack a little bit. I think it could have been better. But the first 2 hours were so much fun. And I had a lot of fun watching this show. This gave me a lot of confidence in WWE going forward. You know, we were a little bit scared because we found out that the Vince McMahon might be taking a head of creative. Triple H came out and said, basically, you're in safe hands. And it's so far since that show, it's seeming like we are in safe hands because everything's been right. Everything's been good so far. I don't know what happened, but everything just turned back around. It's back to good WWE again. I've really enjoyed WWE again. It's been so much fun, and especially Raw. I've really been loving Raw. I've been loving Raw a lot more than SmackDown, to be honest. I haven't really cared for SmackDown much, but Raw has been very, very fun. And again, I really enjoyed the show. I'm going to rate the show a good old 4 out of 5. Almost a 3.5 out of 5, pretty much because of the second or the third hour, but that ending, Bad Bunny coming out and saying that they're going to have a street fight at Backlash kind of saved it for me. I'm excited for that match. And just, again, a good episode of Raw. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about Monday Night Raw. Let me know what you would rate it. But I'm going to go ahead and end this review here, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already. Again, I make wrestling content like this weekly. I will be back on Friday with the Friday Night SmackDown review. And coming up soon, I'll have a video on the top 5 people who should win the World Championship. So stay subscribed to the channel if you are already. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Helps out my small channel greatly. So yeah, and I'm gonna end this here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next video. Love you all. Peace.